topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Camping Show. This is C.W. Getz.
And Jesse Free.
It is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021, and we have a 54-degree overcast day here near Chicago, Illinois. You know, I shouldn't complain because it's better than 50 degrees below zero or even zero.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's not snowing, right? We're good with that?
Not much sun, but it's warmer than it's been in a while, so.
Yeah. You know, I have to tell you, though, it's been like wind nonstop here. So
I bet. Because you've got nothing to block the wind. It's even been windy here at my place. And
are you going to tell me it's because I sawed all the trees down on my property? Because that's what everybody else says.
I wasn't going to say it, but I mean, you did get rid of the wind block.
A tree doesn't stand a stinking chance at your house. But you know what the deal was? I had the right trees in the wrong place or the wrong trees in the right place. So I said, either way, they got to go. So I have 4. I mean, that's enough, right?
4, I guess.
4 on like 3-4 acres, whatever. That's good enough. 5, you're going to be overpopulated, you know? So, yeah.
Then they'll start growing more.
You know, but we do call it the blow zone up here. So there is really not much to block the wind. You know, speaking of, we have a camp kitchen contest going on. And here's Rick bring back the ice fish.
Yeah. He's not happy about this warm weather, apparently. No. Sorry, Rick.
You're in meltdown, pal.
Right.
Anyway, but we're going to extend that contest. And the reason is I haven't had enough submissions where I'm like, okay, this is a real contest now. So I've had a couple of people ask me to wait. They're going to be sending something. They don't find the photos. So if it's all the same to everyone else, we'll wait. Or not wait. We'll just keep this contest going a little bit longer. So, hey, send your stuff in, man. We need to make this a real contest. So, you know, my sister can't win all these contests every time.
Right. Your sister and like my family members, whoever else is included.
There's a little disclaimer. You can only win one prize every 30 days. So we'll make sure you do that.
Right.
Yeah. We've got a great show here for you this evening. Tonight's episode is Camping USA with our special guest, Mark Kepp. Jesse, could you tell us a little bit about Mark, please?
42-year-old Mark Kepp is the founder and CEO of campgroundsviews.com. Based out of Wyoming, he and his family have lived as full-time RV travelers and virtual entrepreneurs for the past 12 years. Mark has personally visited over 5,000 campgrounds and RV parks for his campgroundsviews.com web service in order to create the most comprehensive service of its kind. Mark is extremely well connected in the outdoor hospitality industry, reaching over 5 million campers and thousands of campground owners through his educational and informational platforms, as well as through campgroundviews.com. Mark and his team have created a groundbreaking, intuitive platform for the camping industry that makes it extremely easy to virtually tour a campground, view each of the campsites, and know about the available facilities and to book the perfect site.
Yeah. Well, with that, welcome to the show, Mark.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Great.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah. Glad to have you here. Well, Mark, with all that's happened in this past year, what sort of changes here now can we expect to see this year, you know, and even in the future with regard to campgrounds and booking campsites?
So 2020 was the year of camping, except I think 2021 is now the year of camping. Like, it's nuts out there. Everybody's booking. We actually just did a survey of 2,000 campground and RV park owners, and on average, their bookings are up 80% over normal as of this moment right now. So basically, they're booking up big time. And so that's everywhere. Like, it's across the U.S. Basically, after COVID, everybody figured out, hey, cruises aren't happening. I can't fly to Europe. I might as well get in an RV and go RVing or go camping or do something to get out of the house. And as a result, everybody is traveling, and they're all planning this year to go traveling. So there will be a lot of people out camping in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, even Jess, you remember, who was it? Was it Kevin Callan? I think it was, telling us of how much did he say that camping was up there? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't recall, but it was, an extravagant amount. Similar to like what you're saying, how you said 80%. More people are now looking into that. I mean, when they can't go places, they can't travel like they used to. We still need to get out and get away from our daily grind. So,
yeah, about 74 million households go camping every year. And then with COVID, you had this massive influx. We still don't have the numbers, but anecdotally, everybody and their brother bought an RV last year, and they're going to go somewhere. It's either they're going to go camping or they're on a road trip to go somewhere, right? They're going to go to their Aunt Bertha's, and they're not jumping on a plane with a mask. They're going to hop in the RV and drive, and so they'll be staying at RV parks across the country as they go there.
Well, I know tent sales are up. That's for sure. I see that all the time. There, people are like, I couldn't find
it. The real estate market's up too, so there may be a correlation there.
There you go. Wait a minute. Let's go back there. How many million households? It's just not people. These are households. How many million did you say there were?
74 million.
74 million.
That's just the average pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yeah.
Wow.
And then post-COVID. Just judging by traffic we had at Campgroundviews and what we know that happened out in the market, we estimate that about a 20% increase in overall campers hit the market this last year. And so, I'm not going to do the math on the air because I'll screw it up, but 20% of 74 million.
I'm like, do some math for me because I'm not.
Don't ask either of us. If you can't do it, let's just move on.
There's the teacher right there. Let's ask her, right?
No, I teach second grade. We don't go up that high. Wow, that's incredible. I know even like I've been thinking about, getting a camper, RV, something, just to get out and be able to take my animals and everything I have with me, hit the road, get away. So I'm not surprised that it's gone up, but I had no idea it was that much.
Well, the big thing is that camping, and I personally believe that camping in the outdoors is the last best way that we can connect with ourselves, our friends, our family, and nature in itself. So it's really our last escape from all the insanity that's going on. And I think during COVID, a lot of folks just inherently knew that. Like they knew, I need to get away. I'm going to go outdoors. And so then it's like, well, how do I do that? Well, I'm not going to go stay in a hotel. I'm not going to go fly to Tahiti. Well, let's get an RV and go camp in the forest or go to an RV park. And so as a result, you just see all these people doing that. And the good thing is that the industry has gotten better over the years at serving this audience. So they actually had a good time, right? It wasn't the summer vacation from hell. It was a good trip. And so as a result, people want to do it again this year too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good.
It wasn't the Griswolds.
It was so entertaining, though. I would have liked to tag along. Well, as we're saying, we all know that the number of people new to camping has really exploded in the past year or so. So how will this situation affect all the campers and all the campgrounds? Because there's got to be some kind of cause and effect thing going on.
Yeah, it's a good question. So we currently track 16,000 overnight focused campgrounds. So places that you can go and stay a night or a week, short-term stay campgrounds. There's about 16,000 in the US. Half are private, so privately owned businesses. Half are public, so owned by federal government or county or city. What we're going to see happen is the popular spots are full. And it's going to force people to start searching for alternative locations to go camping. And so that's where the real rub is going to come into play. And that's because it's really hard to find a campground. You can spend a lot of time. In fact, the average camper spends 2 months visiting 58 different websites over 76 different sessions trying to find a campsite because it's hard. And so that'll be the biggest frustration that people will face.
Right. It didn't occur to me until hearing these numbers that I should probably start planning ahead now for my summer stuff. I just thought I'm going to hit the road and, have a great time. But what do you do if you wind up somewhere and you haven't made any plans and there's nowhere available?
You'll probably end up on one of the more rural campgrounds, right? If you wanted to go to Yellowstone, for example, there's only about 4 or 5 campgrounds that are the core ones inside Yellowstone. But if you do a radius search outside of that, there's about 50 within, no, correct me, it's about 120 within a 50-mile radius of Yellowstone. So there's actually a lot of places to camp, but you got to go outside of where everybody else is going in order to find them. And you can find some really unique places. In fact, one of the things in the industry, so in the camping and RV industry, is there's always a lot of talk of a lack of campsites. Like, we need more campsites because there's not places for people to camp. And I always kind of scoff at that because we run a search engine. I know there's a ton of places to camp. The trick is just getting that information in front of them. And as a bet, I said, tell you what, I'm going to go camping in Yellowstone on July 4th weekend with no reservations. And so we went camping 4th of July weekend in Yellowstone with no reservations, and we did not have a problem finding a campsite. But that was because we were flexible. We were willing to go to different campgrounds and campsites within there. Sure. But you can find the campsites if you're willing to venture outside of what everybody else is doing.
Awesome.
You know, Mark, and I'm playing with my phone here because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I did this before, and I was looking at I was looking at just the parks around here, the campgrounds where we're at here, and you know, I could think of 3 of them. I think I pulled up 8. See, and I wasn't even aware. Just to validate what you're saying, because I mean, we all know, and I'm just going to say, Starved Rock State Park, and there was one, Hickory Hills Campground, and what was the other one? I forgot now. But there were like 8 of them that came up, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot about that. You know, and that's where this site is pretty cool. I mean, I've been looking through this thing and surfing through it. I'll tell you what, I know for a fact, like even Kevin Callan was saying up in Canada, the campsites are full. People are like, okay, I think it was Kevin, but they're like, hey, you know what? They're full. We can't take you in, man. I mean, we're booked. And people are upset about that. Well, that happens here. Your site has got a ton of campsites. I mean, big, small, popular, a little bit out of the way. It's got everything.
So we started RVing, Jesse introduced, we started RVing 12 years ago. My wife and I sold everything we owned. We bought a 5th wheel and we hit the road. It was like, we were young, a little bit stupid, but we're like, hey, what's the worst thing that can happen? We go broke and have to get jobs, right? Let's go for it. And so we did that. We sold everything we owned. We bought this 5th wheel and we started traveling the country. And we figured we'd do it a year and a half. And once we got out there, it's a little secret. RVing is really fun. Like, it's awesome. And so we started enjoying it, but we kept running into that same problem that we're solving, right? It was really hard to find campgrounds. And we started looking, you read reviews, right? Reviews are the thing. Whenever you're going to go to a business, you read the reviews. Sure. Yep. Half the reviews are bogus. So you end up basing your decisions on bogus reviews. And so we started, and so our whole thing was the visual. Let's show people what these campgrounds are all about. And then building that directory that have all of those campgrounds so that it really opens your horizons to the different places that you can go off to and discover.
Well, and this may be, awesome. Yeah, this may be just echoing what you just said here, but I was going to ask you, what would you say is the number one problem for people who are trying to locate a campground, and then, of course, to find and book the ideal campsite for themselves or their group? I mean, I'll let you, go ahead. Field that.
Yeah, so it's interesting because everybody who, if you never owned an RV or went camping before, if you only did it when you were a kid and never really went through the process as an adult, it's not like a hotel or a rental car experience because all of us fit in the same hotel room, unless just Shaquille, and then that's just an odd one. But everybody else fits in the same hotel room, right?
In the bathtub, right?
Well, I don't think so. That would be like his foot in the bathtub.
Right. 1 foot.
Whereas when you're camping, though, if you've seen them, RVs go from little travel trailers all the way up to big old buses, and their doors are in different places. Their slides are in different places. They're bringing different people along, different equipment. It ends up creating all of these variables. And so that's really where the complexity comes in is I know there's a campground there, but can I fit with my unit, with my family, with my needs in a site? And so that's where we found that the reviews, they drop because, everybody's going to review a site and it'll be the site that they have. and with the equipment that they had and the people that were in their RV trip with them, right? So
Sure.
it ends up really limiting down the information you're getting, and you start doing a lot of guessing. And so most people, they'll grab Google, right? And they'll go on Google Street View or Satellite View and try to guess. Problem with Satellite View is most of the campgrounds are under trees. So all you're looking at is a bunch of trees. Unless CW is there and cut them all down, then it's a different story altogether.
And it looked like my house.
Yeah. But yeah, so it ends up bringing up that whole problem. So, it was a long-winded answer to the complexity of camping is really finding that campsite that's right for you, right? You could read online that this is the best campsite in America. Yeah, for that person that wrote that review or whatnot, but maybe not for you.
And the equipment that they had there yeah, exactly.
Right. Just too many variables to really know for sure. So then what do you say is the solution to that problem? They can for that.
So we believe that the solution is Google Street View, right? They should be driving through the campgrounds, but they don't. They stop at the gate. They won't go in. So that's what we did is we took a 360 camera into the campgrounds and we're shooting 360 virtual tours of the campgrounds, just like Google Street View, although it's video instead of photos. And then we're overlaying augmented information on it. So we actually show you the site. You can look around, right? You can see the site just like you're doing a Google Street View. Then on top of that, you'll see the site number. You can click on that site number. And when you do that, information pops up about that site. So you're looking at site 5, you know how long it is, does it have a campfire, stuff like that, and then click to book.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, just want to acknowledge Lance Clapham chimed in here. Sounds like you're really trying to streamline and objectify the camping experience. I like it. So, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And John Armstrong, Johnny Bravo, good to see you on. You're listening. We've got the whole problem identified and the solution identified, and but I'm going to go back to something here before we take commercial break. When you say people stop at the gate, I mean, do people actually? And that's if they know where the campground's at, right? Yeah. So a lot of people don't even just bother to go in and drive in and check it out, or even. I mean, is that the case? Generally? Yeah,
like Google Street View will not go into the campground. So if you look at recreation.gov, so recreation.gov handles the federal properties, so Forest Service, National Park, all those in the United States is the booking engine for them. Yeah. They have over 2,000 campgrounds in their directory. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of them, and these are ones that are their properties that they're running, don't even have photos of the sites on their own directory. So, as a camper, what do you do? Now you're really guessing, and there's not going to be Google Street View. There's the satellite view is going to be obscured from trees. So think about the folks that just bought their RV and they're planning that trip for this next, like Jesse, you're going to go do this because you need to plan your trip now for the summer.
Right.
Where are you going? Are you willing to take a risk that you chose badly? Because this is your one trip, right? And so what ends up happening is folks will end up just giving up, and they'll be like, I'll try to get a booking at the popular spot, and just it ain't going to happen, or it ends up ruining the trip, right? So our goal is to provide more information, because if we can do that, people will be able to have a good experience. They'll be able to go more comfortably out in the outdoors, and it just grows everybody's awesome experiences outside.
That's where the bad camping stories come in, isn't it?
Yeah, when they don't have something like Campgroundviews. I was even thinking, what the time of day that you wind up at that campground. If you know minimal information about it, and it might be dark and it might be late, and you never know, and then you're trying to, configure whatever you're pulling, driving into your location. Yeah, that could be a mess. But I was thinking, oh gosh.
Funny story on that. So we were in Kings Canyon National Park, and we went to visit this campground that we were checking out, and there was a car parked on top of a rock in a campsite, like it was on top of the rock. And and literally, and everybody's standing around like, how did this happen? And so being me, I just walked up, hey, what's going on here? And it was a young girl. They went camping their first trip, and she pulled up late at night, and she backed up and parked it right on top of this rock. And the car it's teeter-totting. It's stuck on the rock. Couldn't get it off. Yes.
So it happens. See, you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to take a very short commercial break right now, but please don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the camping show on W4CY Radio and Talk 4 TV.
time to go camping. Introducing Campgroundviews virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campgroundviews virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
And we're back with our guest, Mark Kepp, on the Camping Show. Mark, so how is campgroundviews.com different from what we've all been using in the past, like the Reserve America website, for example?
Well, the biggest difference is when you use like Reserve America or one of those booking engines is they only list the campgrounds that they handle bookings for, right? So if they don't handle bookings, they don't have those campsites. Whereas we're a search directory, so we have all the campgrounds that you can legally camp in for overnight stays, right? The only thing we don't list are places called boondocking spots. Mm-hmm. Those are areas in the desert where you can just go out and park and camp. And we purposely don't list those because if you're going to go do that, you got to have a little bit of experience to know what you're doing. And we don't want to just randomly send folks that are, hey, let's go stay somewhere. And they end up in the middle of the Yuma Desert, right? And they're like, there's snakes and we're going to die. You know, we don't want to be responsible for that.
My producer's big into snakes, man. They're all not venomous, are they, Roxy?
Right? She's got a lot.
You know, you mentioned something. Reserve America doesn't handle all the campsites, do they?
No.
How do they do their selection thing? I mean, you just said we're going to do them all, right?
Yeah. Well, this gets really detailed into the industry, but in a nutshell, think about, it's a business. Camping's a business, right? So these people own campgrounds and RV parks, but the big business in the camping industry is actually running the reservations and getting a cut of the booking fee, right? So there's a lot of companies out there that provide booking services. Some are good, some are great, some aren't. And then they contract. So with Reserve America, most of those are through state government contracts. So they actually get those. And then recreation.gov, I noted them before. So that's the big one. That's the granddaddy. That's all the federal parks. Right. That is a government contract granted by the United States government to a bidder. And this last, about 3 years ago, it was given to Booz Allen Hamilton, which is a big defense contractor. They won the bid. And so they rebuilt recreation.gov. And if you check it out, it's actually a totally new experience if you haven't been on it recently. They rebuilt it. And it's because of what they built that's enabled what we're doing. So as part of that, they created what's called an API. It basically allows us to pull their data and use it without messing with their system, so we can play with that data. That's what's actually helping power our experience. So as we show those sites, we're pulling data right from recreation.gov, live data. So their current data and throwing it over it.
Oh, that's pretty
okay.
Cool.
That's awesome. So we've talked about some of the obvious benefits that campgroundviews.com could offer us. Not parking your car on a rock being one of them. But could you give us a complete list of like each of the features on your website, but especially features that never really existed anywhere previous to this?
So with everything we built about Campground Views, the whole idea behind Campground Views came out of the pain that we had of finding a campground. And I kept saying, everybody's got a cell phone with a camera on it. Why don't we just have photos and video and focus on that? Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing you'll find is that we have 40,000 photographs, 3,000 videos, and 360 videos of campgrounds and RV parks. So visual, you can actually go see these places.
That's awesome. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jess. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. It makes a totally big difference because a place can say they have a pool. I have a certain image in my head of what that pool might look like or what that experience might be for me. And that could be completely different in a positive or a negative way. So I think the pictures and the views, and especially the 360 views, that would be huge for me to make a choice.
Now, what I was going to ask you, you physically went into these parks and did video? I mean, and also I should say, do you get people to submit videos as well? It looks like on the site.
Yeah, option 2. Yeah. So people, people have gravitated to this idea because it's inherent, right? If I could see it, it's going to help me and it should help other campers. Right. So just like they submit a review, they submit photos, they send us videos. With the videos, then we'll edit out license plates and faces. Oh, sure. We don't want to violate anybody's privacy, and plus, you never know. Sure. Hey, who's that belly? Hey,
right. You're camping to get away, and then you're like in the background of every photo and picture.
Yeah. Oops. Although it is funny, we do get folks every once in a while message us, and they'll be like, "Hey, that's my truck in that video. I was there 3 years ago or whatever. I can see my truck, and thank you for blocking my license plate." So we do get that occasionally.
Oh, did you send like a drone around the park at all? Do you play with drones and things, or just handheld stuff?
For when we do like professional productions for parks, so parks will hire us to do marketing videos for them. So we'll do professional videos on their behalf, and in those cases, we will use drones when it's legally allowed. The drones have become very complex to fly for commercial purposes. You have to do a lot of extra steps to make it happen. We do it, but only on those paid projects, just because it's such a headache. And most of the public parks, they have drone restrictions. So drones are tough. Hey, if you have a drone and you want to go capture some video and send it to us, great. We just aren't doing it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Miss the good old days when everything was simple, right? Regulations. Yeah.
I was just thinking, or I thought you were going to say, when you could just walk outside and get hit in the head by a drone or something.
Well,
like
there's
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Get caught naked in the backyard, getting a suntan.
Oh my God.
That's always fun, right?
Don't fly a drone over CWs.
Well, I still got this picture of CW out there with a chainsaw taking down all his trees.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, nothing, just the house. But hey,
yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Me and the naked old man in the backyard in the patio, suntan. Yeah, that's it.
He's looking for the mountains in the distance.
Right.
Nothing to see here, kids. That's right.
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what about situations like park closures? Or special notices, for one of the like a specific campground that maybe that applies to. I mean, is this type of information also available on the website?
Yeah, so with the new player that we're creating, this 360 experience that has the booking thing, this is new. So if this will be the first question. Hey, I went on there, I didn't see that thing you talked about. Right. We're building it. So right now we need support. So don't go on there and say, "Hey, Mark lied." There's nothing on there. There's a button on the homepage. You can see what we're working on. Sign up for the list. We're bringing it to market. So don't yell at me. So first off, the system will the system will integrate with recreation.gov. So any data they have there, we will get. And this became a big issue this last year with like COVID shutdowns and all that stuff, and fires. So we actually had a video team out capturing this footage this last summer. Remember all the fires? Oh, yeah. Like literally they are routing, like when they were shooting in Colorado, for example, we had to route them around those big fires that were up in the canyon above, up in the northern part of the state. And then in another spot, they were in Idaho, and they were in the middle of nowhere in Idaho. So no cell service, nothing. And I'm like texting them, hoping they get the text message, like change route, fire. They never got it. So they ended up on the route. Luckily, they're smart enough to see the smoke and like not drive into it. But apparently the flames were right next to the road as they were driving by. That was how sketchy it was for them.
Ooh, holy cow.
Hey, Roxy, can you bring Lance's?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we had a question up there, I believe, about the app. Lance says, does the app show local amenities, like how far to the nearest shop, bar, etc.?
Not right now. No, that's a lot of data that's outside of us. So we get you your location. We focus on the campground related information, stuff like bars and stuff like that. We leave up to the teachers with the gift cards. So I don't know.
I'll take all the gift cards over here. That is too funny.
The campground. Where's the dang bar? Yeah.
That's when the trip's going bad and you have the wrong site. Let's just leave here and go find the bar.
Because we didn't use campgroundviews.com.
That'll be our new commercial. Don't get drunk. Camp better. Or maybe, actually, I think a lot of people go to get drunk to camp. So that may be a different story altogether.
Right. Hopefully parked and in their location for the evening.
Work all together, yeah.
So, does campgroundviews.com have information for each campground? Like, is there a lake? Is there a shower house? A camp store? Do you have that specific kind of information for each site, like campfire ban, or if there's a swimming pool or not? Things like that.
Yeah, we actually maintain a database that now is at it's over 1 million meta fields. So out of those 16,000 campgrounds, there's 1 million meta fields underlying it that we're tracking all that nuanced stuff. So we have stuff like, are the sites dirt? Are the roads gravel? Is there grass? Are there dog runs? I mean, all these really nuanced things. And if you go to any listing, so you would go to campgroundviews.com and do a search for a location. And when you find a park, if you click on it, scroll down, you'll see all those, it's underneath, it's called keywords, but if you look down, you'll see all that stuff and give you more information on it.
Awesome.
Would you
Very
call
cool.
that meta? What is it again? What'd you call
Meta
it?
fields. I know. I was like, I'm learning.
$100 word, Mark. You can't
Sorry.
use $100 words on this show.
I'm sorry.
Speak English to us.
Yeah, right.
Well, the big question people ask is they're like, well, how did 12 years ago, because 12 years ago was 2009. So you had the economic crash, right? Like, did you rob a bank? Like, how did you sell everything and go RVing? And the way I did that is I actually was running a digital marketing agency at the time. So my background's digital marketing. So sorry, I used the digital marketing term there. I apologize. It was
that fancy lingo on it.
Shame on you. Too funny. Well, we are actually going to take another short commercial break right now. But again, don't go away. We will be right back with more of The Camping Show on W4CY Radio and Talk 4 TV.
We were going for a commercial. And we're waiting for
I could say it if you.
Jess, why don't you grab that copy there and give that a run, give that a go through? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take the commercial break a little bit later, and we'll jump to the question. And
let's keep going. We're learning a bunch of new lingo.
You can let me know when you're ready for that. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you jumped in the CW there because I was going to say something about that. Hey, it's not my show. I'm not jumping.
Take it away. I'm fine with that.
Well, yeah, no, that's okay. And Roxy, if you want to, do we have a little chat button here or a chat thing there? And when you're back, Roxy, you let me know.
Yeah, she could have gotten bumped off too. Some of this
that
happens sometimes.
Absolutely, that does happen. Oh, there she says she's here. Hey, you want to do a commercial, Roxy? We can do a commercial, huh? We good? I love technology. It's just great. You let me know when you're ready, Rex. Okay, she says good. Okay, we're going to do a commercial break right now, looks like, right?
All right, sounds good. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to have this commercial for you right now.
All right.
Or not.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campgroundviews virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campgroundviews virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Okay, and we're back on the camping show with our guest, Mark Kepp. And a little technical thing going there. And hey, this is live radio. That's the way it works, kids.
I wanted to say April Fools, but we're not there yet.
Honestly, really, when everything, that's the beauty of live radio. Anything goes. I mean, you could say anything right now. We could, anything happens. So that's why it's a lot more exciting.
We're just trying to build the suspense for that great commercial of yours.
Absolutely.
Then everybody's looking and listening. Wondering where.
They're paying attention now because they know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. They only tune in for the commercials. Now they're like, all right.
Right, now they signed off.
It's a little twofer there. All right. Well, actually, we're going to have you pull that website up. Mark, we're going to go through something here. So my question is, how user-friendly is the website to navigate and use, especially for those who may be somewhat technology challenged, like yours truly at times.
Yeah, we learned that with the meta comment. So the website should be really easy to use. It'll work on a desktop, a laptop, mobile phone, anything with a web browser, and you just do a search. So there's that search bar there. You can search any location. Like, let's actually go to Yellowstone. So go ahead and type in Yellowstone. It'll start auto populating for you, and just click on the name and then click search.
Oh, that's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will pull up a map on the left, and then you have a location here. Your main thing at the top there, top right, is a filter. And you'll notice right now it's set at 25 miles. So if you drop that down, you'll see that you can change your radius that you're searching in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And then you'll know.
Are those the meta fields? Is that what you're talking about?
No, we'll go into meta fields. So if we scroll down a little bit and click on one of the campgrounds there, it doesn't matter which one. Like, there's any of those, just click on one of them. Yeah, that'll work.
KOA there, yeah.
So it's a KOA outside of Yellowstone there. We'll click on it. Looks like Roxy's internet is slow. Did you click on that?
Oh, that's what's going on the internet.
Yeah, it was bumping her off before and whatnot.
Little
yeah.
When you get that, there's
there we go.
One of the features we built in the website is whenever you use it, it immediately shuts your computer down, and then a little ransomware comes up. It's how we make our money. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
And the truth comes out.
All right,
I'm really doing this from Russia right now. I got a great accent going.
I love it. Rexy, click on that KOA like he was, if you could, please. And I don't see her little cursor. We'll go back in there.
The whole system, the whole thing, it all falls apart because of meta tags. It all comes apart.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
There we go. So this would be a normal listing. You have the information. You right there up at the top. You see where the dollar signs are. Right above it, there's quick icons that give you an idea of the features. Their hookups. Is there sewer, water, pull throughs?
Okay.
And then if Roxy scrolls down, you'll see that we have a video on this one. So you could click the YouTube video and view it. Scroll down even further, Roxy.
Can we just try start or go ahead? I'm going to come back to that, but go ahead. We'll scroll down. Yeah.
Yeah, scrolling down, and I want to show that Jesse's excited about the meta tags. We've got to go down the meta tags.
I want to finish my lesson that he's teaching.
There you go. There's the meta tags right there. See all those details? So this has all of the data. If you scroll down, there's going to be a lot of them on this.
Got it. Is there, they have different colors and logos? It's kind of small for me to see, but what is that next to it? Does that mean anything?
It's just an icon that represents whatever that field is. I can't see it on my screen right now, but it represents whatever that is. And depending on the campground, the information we have more or less.
Okay. So those little icons are little keys, like it'd be a picture of a tent or a picture of something like that, right? Okay.
Bingo. Yep, exactly.
Can we go up to that video? I just want to go back a little bit. Right there. Let's play that underneath there, right there. Let's just play a couple seconds of that. See what that sounds like.
And so this is a user submitted, so somebody submitted this video to us.
Okay, great.
Nice. That's a good view to have.
Roxy, do you have any volume on that? We can, or maybe
this video right here has 5 million views because it went viral.
Wow.
No,
Holy
it didn't
cow.
go viral. No, it didn't go viral.
Oh.
These are not viral videos.
That's what it says. You had me. I was like, dang,
Hey,
5 million.
that really does show quite a
Can
bit.
you help us go viral? What the heck?
Yeah, right.
Start filming campgrounds. People love it. Like, it's right up there with Beyonce, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy.
Hey, that showed a lot, though. I mean, we really you got tent sites in there. You got RV sites. You got some amenities. You got playground. I mean, because not every campground has that. I mean, actually.
Yeah, and the big thing on these videos is if you're camping, you just got to feel for the campground. Now, it's not going to be these are quick and dirty, right? It's just let's show you the campground real fast. But the amount of information you got on that location is huge. You now know, oh yeah, I read a review and they said it was great, and you're confirming that, right? So it really helps with your decision-making criteria.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's great that we're able to pull this sort of thing up. See, we couldn't do this on the radio show. But you can pull this sort of stuff up, and you get a firsthand look at it.
So sorry, CW. This she just pulled up. There's a button at the top that says Big Map, and when you click that, you're actually pulling our entire database. So those are all of the parks we have listed. We even have parks in Hawaii that we.
I was going to say something was out in the ocean over there.
So it's not just the continental United States. This is the entire United States.
In the entire United States. And as an email today said, did you hate Canadians? And the answer is No, I don't hate Canadians. I just don't know the laws on videotaping Canadian parks. I know it's different up there, so we focus on the U.S. So we like Canadians.
You don't
They
want
did
to
not hold back on you. Dang.
You don't want to end up in a Canadian prison, right? So that's not cool. Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah, it's like cookies and no. Well, I'm getting myself in trouble now. I'm just going to stop.
Yeah. I did not know. I thought it was just continental. So I was yeah.
No, that's very cool. Okay, so it's obvious that campgroundviews.com is pretty amazing. I'm excited about it because this is going to even help just me. But here's a big question. How much does it cost to have all these helpful tools, information, all of that made available to us?
So as you notice, Roxy did not sign in. All of the searches are free. You can use the tools completely for free. The new tours that we're creating, though, there will be a membership fee to access those. And so if we go back to the website, I don't know if we can, but on the homepage, there's a button. If you scroll down right below the search bar, there's a button that takes you into information on that. And that there will be a fee to view those 360 tours because, unfortunately, we have to feed ourselves and pay the bills.
Can you pull that up?
Oh, such a shame. You got to feed yourself, too?
Yeah, I know.
Roxy, can we pull that? Can we pull that up again and see what Mark's talking about on the website?
Oh, we're gonna do this again, huh?
There we go. All right.
Build the suspense.
Okay, where was that at again, Mark? Up on the
scroll down, Roxy. Right underneath this block, it says the future of camping is here. Scroll down just a little bit. It says get more information. Click here. Click that.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, so the reason why there's lagging is because it will only do one window at a time. So if I open a new one, I have to start the process over.
Oh, interesting.
Just so you know.
We're just testing you.
Technology limitations.
Yes. Very cool.
You open it.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, and this page has all the information, so your listeners can view down and see all the stuff. Basically, where we're at is my wife and I are RVers. We're entrepreneurs. We're not backed by a big corporation. We're building this because we think it's the future and we think that it needs to be created. And we've been doing this ourselves. I've personally invested, I'm about $1 million in the hole on this thing that I've invested in building this business. And we're now at this point where we need a little bit of help. So if you think this is cool and you want to help us out, we're selling access to these tours in advance for half price. So that money helps us get this thing over the edge. So that's what this page is about.
Very cool.
So cool.
Very
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. And this helps so many people. So that's awesome. I hope they come back and pay it forward with you guys.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Mark, we got about 6 minutes here just to let you know. But I'm going to ask you, we each got a question to ask you here. Mine is, how did you, and maybe you answered this already, I apologize if you did, but how did you ever come up with the idea of creating a service like this? Because you just mentioned the expense to it, but I can only imagine it was a long process as well as being expensive. But how did you ever come up with this?
It's the typical entrepreneur's journey where you have this really great idea and you don't think about anything after that or any of the consequences of what you're deciding, and you just say, "Hey, let's do it." And that was our genius idea. We're like, "Hey, this sounds like a wonderful idea. Let's go do it." And that started this whole 6 years of torture. No, I'm kidding. It's been a lot of fun.
I bet there were moments, though, right?
Yeah. There are moments. Anything.
Oh yeah.
You hear there's no overnight successes, and we absolutely don't think we're a success yet. But we're going to get there, and it's going to take us a long time to get there. It's a lot of work, a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, and in the end, our goal is to help people get outdoors and to make that process easier. So that's our focus, and we feel as long as we keep that as our North Star, we're gonna move this ball forward. We've had over 5 million people use the website so far. Our YouTube channel has something like 2 or 3 million views of those different videos. So people use it, and we get messages from people that they like it. And we think this next generation stuff that we're building will fundamentally change the way people find their campground. So it all started with a stupid idea, and we've just kept moving along down the road.
No, that's awesome.
Very cool.
We've had a bunch of people saying hi along the way through this show. So hello and thank you. Lance, he says, please bring this to the UK. We need this too.
There you go.
Love it.
Fantastic, man.
We've
Fantastic.
got Joy. Oh, hey, Jesse, love the show. So excited. We're leaving soon for places, in the U.S. So Joy will be able to use your site for sure. Hey, Joy, what is meta tags?
The meta tags.
Meta tags, yes.
Yeah, that was before. We actually explained that too. Yeah. And Susan Gustafson from Florida as well chimed in there and said hello. How you doing, Susan?
Yeah, awesome. We've got hello from Kirk. Very cool.
Was in there too.
So the debate with Florida right now is so many people are moving down there will the land actually sink into the ocean? Like there's so many people going down there right now, right? I mean, that's where all the winter snowbirds are and everything. So glad you're in Florida. It's a beautiful place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that weather. So, all right, Mark, we got to ask, how about sharing a story with us about a camping disaster that happened to you or someone that you know? And explain how maybe the services from your website, some services they would offer maybe could have prevented that. Similar to the car on the rocks story.
Yeah, the car on the rocks is a good
That's such a good one.
Right. I'll have a car on the rocks, please. Thank you. Hold it. Yeah.
No matter how well you plan your camping trip, there are going to be hiccups along the way. So actually, I'll share a story. This is day one of our journey in 2009. Now, mind you, I've convinced my wife to sell everything we own, put the remaining stuff in an RV, hook it up to a truck, and start driving, right? Where are we going? We are 150 miles into the journey, and a big rig, we're on the highway, and the big rig pulls up next to us, driving. So he's next to us, and I glanced over, and the guy is waving at me out of the cab. And I'm like, wow, he must like the trailer. How's it going? And I wave back. And he finally gives up and he goes on. And about 10 miles later, I looked in the mirror and I see all this smoke and rubber flying. So we had a flat tire. I didn't know. Tore up the side of the RV. I pull over. $600 later, we're back on the road.
Oh, wow.
Next day, I stop at another tire shop because I don't know anything about tires. Guys look at the tires. They say, the tires they installed, that other shop, are 11 years old. So think about tires that they only last about 5 years. They're 11 years old. We need to put new tires on. $600 more later, new tires. A week later, another flat tire. So we are now a week and a half into this journey that I convinced my wife to go on, and we are $1,200 in the hole, or a little bit more than that. And I'm like, this is the stupidest idea ever. This is costing us a fortune. Like our per miles is insane. I'm freaking out. So that was our journey. So the point being is, we ended up continuing on, figuring it out, and ended up having this epic. Now it's become a life, right? This is 12 years of our life that we spent out on the road, and we've been in some amazing places. Like we've been in Glacier National Park during the Northern Lights and actually watched them dance across the night sky over Lake McDonald.
Wow.
We saw the last nighttime shuttle launch out of Florida. We have been all over the country. We started our family on the road, and I can tell you that if you commit to doing a little bit of camping, a little bit of RVing, you are about to embark on a pretty amazing journey.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Mark, can you tell our listeners where they can go to check out your awesome website and all the wonderful features that it has to offer campers?
Go to campgroundsviews.com. You'll get a little annoying pop-up that comes up. Sign up for an account for free, and then you'll be on our email list so we can spam you all day long. No, I'm kidding. We send you a few emails and help you out. So campgroundsviews.com. We're also on social media, so Facebook and Instagram. We have a very active Instagram account. And then YouTube. You can find our videos on YouTube. Reach out to us. We're looking to make camping amazing. We'd love to have your support.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
I signed up for that, by the way. I am on.
All right, I'll get on it. CW beat me to it. Show me up.
All right. Well, it looks like we're out of time here this evening, but we want to thank you, Mark, for being our guest on the camping show. It was a pleasure having you here with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we hope you'll tune in for next week's episode, The Outdoors Saved My Life, with special guest Jillian Brown.
Until then, thank you guys for tuning into the camping show.
This is CW Getz.
And Jesse Free.
Reminding you, learn more, do more.
Do more.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.